A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 23, verses 1 to 12. The passage is taken from the Message version of the Bible. Now Jesus turned to address his disciples, along with the crowd that had gathered with him. The religious scholars and Pharisees are competent teachers in God's law. You won't go wrong in following their teachings on Moses, but be careful about following them. They talk a good line, but they don't live it. They don't take it into their hearts and live it out in their behavior. It's all spit and polished veneer. Instead of giving you God's law as food and drink by which you can banquet on God, they package it in bundles of rules, loading you down like pack animals. They seem to take pleasure in watching you struggle under these loads and wouldn't think of lifting a finger to help. Their lives are perpetual fashion shows, embroidered prayer shawls one day and flowery prayers the next. They love to sit at the head tables at church dinners, basking in the most prominent positions, preening in the radiance of public flattery, receiving honorary degrees, and getting called doctor and reverend. Don't let people do that to you, put you on a pedestal like that. You all have a single teacher, and you are all classmates. Don't set up people as experts over your life, letting them tell you what to do. Save that authority for God. Let Him tell you what to do. No one else should carry the title of Father. You have only one Father, and He is in heaven. And don't let people maneuver you into taking charge of them. There is only one life leader for you and them, Christ. Do you want to stand out? Then step down. Be a servant. If you puff yourself up, you will get the wind knocked out of you. But if you are content to simply be yourself, your life will be count for plenty. The Gospel of the Lord.
Let us now listen to a reflection on Gospel according to Matthew chapter 23, verses 1 to 12. Always preach the gospel, use words when necessary. Jesus criticizes the hypocrisy of those who fail to practice what they preach. When our faith is reduced to empty words, unconcerned with the lives and needs of others, the creed we profess proves inconsistent with the life we lead. Thus, Jesus uses strong language in warning against self-idolatry. He tells us, "You have but one teacher, and you are all brothers." A disciple of Jesus is called to be a person who speaks few words but acts more. St. Francis of Assisi's famous advice to two of his friars when they were sent to evangelize Muslims in the Holy Land is worth recalling. Always preach the gospel, use words when necessary. Pharisees and scribes proclaimed themselves official interpreters of the Torah, the law of Moses. They interpreted what was good and what was evil. However, Jesus criticizes them for their acts of public performances of piety to impress the crowd. God's word reminds us, particularly those in authority in the church, not to engage in public displays of fasting and penance, while our behavior and relationships with others do not reflect this external display of spirituality. Let us not be among those who impose unbearable burdens on others but do nothing to assist. Commenting on this gospel passage, Pope Francis says, A common mistake of those in civil or ecclesiastical authority is demanding people to do things, even righteous things, that they fail to practice in the first person. They live a double life. This sets a bad example of authority. Authority is a help, but if it is wrongly exercised, it becomes oppressive. It does not allow people to grow, creates a climate of distrust and hostility, and leads to corruption. We, disciples of Jesus, must not seek titles of honor, authority, or supremacy. We must not consider ourselves superior to others. Jesus, meek and humble of heart, came not to be served, but to serve, and He wants us to learn from Him to be humble. May the Virgin Mary, humble and exalted more than any creature, help us with her motherly intercession to spurn pride and vanity, and to be meek and docile to the love of God, for the service of our brothers and sisters, and for their joy, which will also be our own.